Alright, ladies and gents, as ever, my name is Shane, that's Shane's Games, and tonight we're going to be playing Call of the Sea for the PC. This will be our very first time playing it, so if you're just joining us, you haven't missed a thing. But if you'd like to check out some of the games I've played in the past, be them obscure, unusual, or nostalgic, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. But for tonight, let's go ahead and get into the game, shall we? Oh, it says press enter, and here I am clicking like a fool. Squidward Sword, I want to let you know that I read that comment of yours as if what you typed was, Zach, is it possible that I'm actually York in real life? I had considered this. In other words, I'm going to say it's a possibility. I think it's a strong possibility there. All right, new game. Are you sure this will delete all your progress? That's fine. Text language English, subtitles on, start new game. Nice loading screen right there.
No.
What was that? What are those voices?
Prologue, a family heirloom. Oh, I'm controlling it. Our hands look a little bit fishy.
Where am I?
This entire place looks a little bit fishy, as a matter of fact. Red Seat's profile.
I know this place. I've been here before.
Have we? Oh, there's a clock right there. Very loud clock.
I've been here my entire life. I'm trapped in here.
Well, that's unpleasant. We don't appear to be drowning, though, so that's the thing.
These stairs. I'm climbing these stairs again.
Oh, those hands are gloved. They looked unnatural in that green light, but yeah, you can see the gloves now.
The voices are calling me. My old music box. It's broken. I have to fix my old music box. I have to get it. I have to... Those horrible dreams again. I've had them repeatedly ever since my mother died and left me that music box in her will. Harry always said that old family heirloom had something to do with my family's strange disease. If the doctors won't give us an answer about your illness, I'll search for one myself, you said. And in that search, it seems you lost yourself. I don't think I'd ever...
Pardon me, madam, but the island is in sight. We'll be lowering the boat in just a minute.
Oh, thank you so much, Captain Hodgson. I'll be right out.
All right,
All
we're
right.
getting started.
Time to gather my things.
Let's see. Also, Squidward, the original name during the beta days, or the alpha days of Deadly Premonition was Rainy Woods. Back before they had to change a bunch of things because they were worried about getting sued by the Twin Peaks people. Yeah, the art style of this game is very charming. One thing I wanted to mention is some people may be wondering, is this a horror game? And from what I've seen, not really. It's got horror themes to it, but it's sort of more a cool island puzzle adventure. So I wouldn't really worry too much about it if horror isn't your jam.
I think I've overpacked.
That is a lot of stuff for this kind of trip.
Captain Hodgson has a very particular taste when it comes to decor.
Boat stuff. You know, it seems like a logical thing to have on a boat. Back when it was even more blatantly Twin Peaks fanfiction, oh man.
What was I thinking when I brought all these dresses on this trip?
That you're rich in the 20s, I guess? I assume? A sprinkling of horror in places as a treat. It's a happy horror game.
Oh my, I have the worst memory. I forgot the combination again.
Well, there's our
Thank
first
goodness
puzzle.
I always bring my journal with me to write things down.
I assume that's his journal over here. Just wanted to look fabulous. I've mentioned before, like, there's horror games and there's horror-themed games. I've had a lot of trouble enunciating the difference. I was thinking about it today, though, and I think one of the things that I could use to explain to it is nobody tends to get horrified in the Halloween decorations section of Home Depot, even though it has all the trappings of horror. And that's kind of what it is a horror game is a game that's supposed to scare the shit out of you. And a horror-themed game has a lot of the ideas from horror, but isn't trying to scare you. The difference between a haunted house and the Halloween decorations aisle at Home Depot, I think, is a good way to think of it.
Oh, I'd better cover up my hands before I leave the cabin. I wouldn't want anyone thinking I'm a circus freak.
It seems like a pretty mild deformity, if you ask me, though. Haunted house versus Spirit Halloween, you can go that route, too. That works as well. Depends on who's in the store.
I love this song.
He loves the song, apparently.
I received a mysterious package at my house. I stored all its contents in my locked suitcase.
Alright, so we need to get in there. (1934).
Ah, the amazing adventures of Nora Everhart, art teacher.
Alright, so we got the journal here. Let's see, Ali Coco, you have a great rest. Thank you once again so much for bringing your community by. I appreciate it. And yes, if anybody here is not following Ali Coco, you definitely should. She plays a great variety of games. She was playing Alan Wake Remastered today, which is always a good time to play, to watch, to hang out with somebody playing. So make sure you click that link, give her a follow, check her out next time she's live. You're going to have a good time over there. Alright, so curious things from my journey. This one says, Nora, remember this? So I assume 506 is the combination of the safe. And then we've got a log here. Go back to the beginning and check this out. Yeah, let's read the log here. July 6, 1934. It's been a month since I received Harry's last letter. It was postmarked San Francisco and mentioned that the answer to my illness might be found in the Pacific Ocean. I'm hoping his silence is only due to a delay in the postal service. July 14th. Last night I had another of my vivid dreams, but this time something was different. I saw a strange island looming in the distance. In the heart of the island, a huge stone obelisk rose up before a mist-shrouded mountain. I woke up drenched in sweat. September 16th. I still wake up to odd dreams in the middle of the night. Still no news from Harry, and it's been 3 months already. Damn this disease of mine. My husband is missing, and I can barely walk for a couple minutes without getting exhausted. October 10th. An enigmatic sentence written on the photo of my husband. An ancient stone relic that looks like a knife. A brass key with the letters CW engraved on it. All 3 were in a package I received yesterday, postmarked Tahiti, no sender. Find him, 74 nautical miles east of Otaheite? After leafing through a couple of history and geography books, I found out that Otaheite was just the ancient name of Tahiti, same place the package came from. What does all this mean? Anyway, my mind is made up. Even though I still feel woozy, I have to give it everything I've got. It won't be easy, but I'll find my husband whatever it takes, even if it means going to the end of the world. October 14th, following Harry's trail, I caught a train to San Francisco. In the Madison building, I found out that on May 25th, Harry bought 6 passages to Tahiti, on the SS Caramel, Tahiti again. On a side note, I'm not sure if it's the fresh air or the sea breeze, but I feel much better. October 19th. First, I'll sail to Tahiti on an ocean liner. If I don't find Harry there, I'll have to find a ship that'll take me to whatever is 74 nautical miles east of Tahiti. This isn't going to be easy, or cheap either. October 23rd. I missed the sea so much after Harry and I moved to Denver. I love to sit on the deck and watch the moonlight playing on the water. It's so comforting. November 1st. I've finally arrived in Tahiti. Finding information about Harry's expedition is turning out to be tough now that, tough now to... Oh, I guess. I think I must have walked all over Papete asking about them, but nobody seems to know anything. About that place 74 miles east of Tahiti. Some locals have mentioned an island, but they won't say anything else about it. It's like they think the place is cursed. I met an English sailor, Captain Hodgson. He knew some of the crew members on the Lady Shannon, a whaler. Apparently the ship took an American expedition to an island east of Tahiti. According to Hodgson, it's been months since he last saw the Lady Shannon and his crew. Like every good sailor, the captain is superstitious. Do you think I'm mad? I'm not going to risk the lives of my crew by going to that cursed island, he said. November 4th. After 3 days of begging, I've managed to convince Captain Hodgman to take me close to the island. Save your money, Miss Everhart. Leaving me alone will be payment enough. I think there's a sweet, tender heart inside that grumpy old sailor. All right. So there we've got everything up till right now. Yeah, they did a remaster not too long ago either. It looks pretty good. They didn't change anything but the graphics, though. Papiete? Tough road to hoe. I have heard that one before. Hey, Leah, welcome in. How are you doing today? I do hate cursive. I'd like to see that go away.
After spending so much time reading this book, I think I've learned a thing or two about Polynesian culture.
All right, so what was it, 506? I think that's what we said it was. From the picture in the journal, it said don't forget. There we go.
All right, now it's open.
And what do we got in here?
Harry Everhart, my husband, my partner, and my dear old pal.
And it says, as promised, find him on it.
A brass key with the letters CW engraved on it, and some enigmatic instructions.
Interesting.
This strange and sharp relic came in the package I received at home. I saw this island in one of my unsettling dreams. I drew it as soon as I woke up.
All right. Well, that's all the important stuff then, I think.
We're all set, madam. The motorboat is ready.
I wish when they did that, they'd offered an alternative text that was clear to read. They actually do most of the times. I don't think they do in the journal, but, yeah, let me show you. Like right here. You can hit the read button and it'll actually give you a clear text transcription of everything that it says, which is super convenient. I appreciate that. More games need to do that. Also, there's a button over here that says play that replays what she said the first time she picked it up in case you missed it, which is pretty nice. Let's see. Lee hated the teachers that forced me to use it even more, though. Oh, that is super frustrating. I literally have forgotten everything I knew except cursive, except I know how to sign my own name. I couldn't write anything else in cursive except my own name. That's it. Just had a replacement part arrive for my VR walking surface. Excellent, excellent. Hopefully the assembly doesn't go too bad. Oh, might be covered by chat box. Thank you for letting me know. You got a play button right there. All right. Germany has like 3 different types of cursive. Oh God! The dark souls of writing.
Merveilles de mer du Sud. Marvels of the Southern Seas, I think.
Let's see, anything else interesting in here?
It's not exactly a clawfoot tub, but you can't always get what you want.
Truth.
I'm definitely going to miss this bed. Falling asleep to the ship's rocking was delightful.
That actually does sound pretty nice.
I'd always dreamed of traveling. It was not the same without you, Harry.
All right. I believe we've seen everything in here now. Take one more quick sweep. All right. Let's go ahead and get going then.
Okay, Nora. From here on out, you're on your own.
Out of the blue.
Lower the motorboat and be careful with Mrs. Everhart's equipment, lads. We'll be back to pick you up in 3 days. I really hope you find your husband there, madam.
I hope it too. I'll see you in 3 days then.
And please be careful on that island. You know what the legends say about it?
I'll take care. Thank you, Captain Hodgson.
Yeah, out of the blue is the dev here. I forgot about that. Chapter 1, 74 miles east of Otahite.
Well, here I am, in the middle of the ocean after traveling across half the world. Just miles away from where my husband is supposed to be. You left a year ago to search for a cure for my affliction. Your letters kept me close to you, but suddenly they stopped coming. What happened, Opal? What did you find? Whatever it was, it led you to hire a crew and set sail from San Francisco to Tahiti. And from there, to this place. An island in the middle of the Pacific that the locals refuse to even name. Everything is familiar. So familiar. As impossible as that may sound. Is this the island I dreamed about? This can't be a coincidence.
That can't be a coincidence. Bob, thank you for the 44-month resub. I appreciate that. How are you doing today, Bob? How's everything going with you? Want adventure in the title? Yeah, why don't you toss it in there? I didn't think about that. That might be good.
A breathtaking, idyllic island, surrounded by deadly reefs and protected with stakes to keep anybody from entering. Why?
Private folks here, I guess?
There's definitely something strange about this place.
Raygun Gothic, I like that name. Yeah, that's what drew me to this game, is it's got some Lovecraftian themes, but it's so colorful. I really like that.
Okay, Harry. Let's see if I can find any trace of you around here.
It's gorgeous.
I'll leave my things in the boat until I find somewhere to camp.
Fair enough.
I know it's just resonance, but I do love listening to the sea in them.
It's charming. Alright. Let's get to looking around. Alright, take care of yourself, Kellerman. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. You take care of yourself, and I hope you enjoy this game when you play it as well. I still gotta try Generation Zero. That one seems pretty nice.
A tent. So somebody was on this island recently.
Sure looks like it.
Well, that's a vivo. A flute that the Polynesians play with their nose. I won't be playing that.
She has been studying the culture.
A miniature va'a, a Polynesian outrigger canoe. Beautifully crafted, too.
And before boat washes away by the time we get back, I would be incredibly screwed if that happens. She didn't actually, like, tie it up, did she, though? That's irresponsible. That looks like the sheath for a machete. Isn't commenting on it, though.
A note written in French. I only understand 2 words. Île and mort. Island and death.
Yeah, I don't know any of that, unfortunately. All right.
It must be a warning about the dangers of the island.
Hey, Bob! Thanks for the 5 gift subs there, Bob. I appreciate that. To Selnica, Keyboard Turner Overdrive, that's what's up, IR Doing, and Lazy Dio. Thank you so much for that, Bob. That is super generous of you. I appreciate the heck out of that, and I know all those folks are going to appreciate that too. Thank you for that. All right, so what do we got here?
Someone has been chopping down palm trees. A lot of them. Maybe to build something.
That might mean there's a base camp around here somewhere.
I feel quite good. I dare say I might even walk a little faster than usual.
That is such a 1930s thing to say. So yeah, there's a sprint button. This is the cutest way to introduce a sprint button. See if there's anything in this cave here. Looks like there's an interesting view. What do we got here?
Those markings seem to represent the sea. I'll make a note of them in my journal. It might come in handy.
Alright. I arrived on the mysterious... Hang on, do they have something behind there? No, they do not. I arrived on the mysterious island 74 miles east of Tahiti. The fishermen will be back to pick me up again in 3 days. I hope that's enough time to find you, dear old pal. Oh, we put the ticket right in there. We added in the other evidence we found to those empty spots in the journal. That makes sense. Alright, so that symbol's water. Gotcha. There's the brass key. Alright. Evidence. Yeah, she did mention she'd get tired of walking only a little way before, so honestly, that's really cute. I think that's awfully clever as a way to introduce a run button. I wonder if that note's as much of a spoiler as knowing Norwegian watching the thing. I don't think it would be a huge spoiler knowing the Norwegian. I know what they say. I do know. And like, it definitely spells some things out, but I don't think it would spoil the whole thing. Also, I just saw the drag marks on the ground here.
Something was dragged to the sea. And by the looks of these marks, it was heavy.
That's weird. I wonder what that was. A little helpful, but still just kind of... Right, yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. It's interesting, most definitely.
Looks like it opens from the other side.
Alright, so I can't get through there. Well, let's see what's over here. A lot of necklaces on that rock there, that's interesting. Alright. See what's up here.
These wooden figures are called Unu. This seems to be telling a story.
I don't know what the story is, but he's a cutie. Hello, Unu. There's a hell of a quote right there. That, I believe, was, what was it called? The Good Life? That was the only game I can think of where I was pissing on trees, but I was doing it an awful lot there. There are plenty of trees here. So many options. Let's see over here. That's weird. I can never remember the name of that game because it's the name's so simple. It kind of throws me. There's another Unu. It has a story on it. Seems like there's anything else over here. Chin up, Naomi! Goddamn hellhole. Alright, let's go deeper in, I guess. Ooh, anything over here?
It may look peaceful, but clearly somebody wants to keep outsiders off this island.
And that's what we are.
What a lovely flower offering.
We're the outsiders. That's bad.
Goddamn hellhole.
Apparently Naomi doesn't like the island. But you know, it's pretty par for the course. Lobster! The big pointy sticks seemed like they were, you know, spelling out something pretty obvious there.
From what I've read, the Polynesians don't need doors. So why build such a big one?
Good question.
Well, that did something.
Seems like a counterweight there.
Something's missing here.
Alright, so you need a cap like that other one has, I imagine. Interesting.
What? Someone carved my name in the back of this Unu.
Well, that would strongly suggest that Harry was here, and seemed to think that Nora was going to be here at some point.
A carving tool.
That's how they carved the name, I suppose.
This box. CW. Those are the initials on the brass key. It opens it. So whoever sent me this key was here.
Oh, hey! Rock with the flower crown on it and a flower crown on the ground. I recognize where this is.
This is starting to look like a scavenger hunt.
I love scavenger hunts. Who knew that would happen to the Unu? Oh no, Unu. Very aged brass, that's true. Also, I mean, this is an island too. I imagine the salt air probably isn't very good for it. Aha!
Well, look what's hidden here.
Hey there, plushie. Welcome in. How are you doing today? How was your stream? What were you playing? Tell me everything. And for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Shane. That's Shane's Games. I play the obscure, the unusual, and the nostalgic. And today we're playing Call of the Sea, a first-person puzzle game that has a little bit of a Lovecraft element to it. All right, so there we go. Now it looks like the other side. And the lever works now.
It works.
Excellent. Playing Yakuza 0 for the first time and you love it so much. Oh my god, is this your first Yakuza? If so, doubly so, congratulations. I hope you're having an amazing time with it.
This may be the first time I trespass a private property. My childhood in Newburyport wasn't exactly the most thrilling thing.
Oh, it is? Oh my god. I keep squeaking and I can't stop. I love the game. Oh man. I think Yakuza 0 is one of the best of the entire series. I hope you have an amazing time with it. Alright. Another little camp over here, it would seem like. Somebody's definitely been over here.
Is that Harry? Harry, you were here. You were here and I found you, damn it. Where are you now? Where is everybody? Where did you and all your crew go?
Well, he was here with 5 other people. We know that now. Confirmed. You just got to chapter 3. Oh man, so you still got a good amount of it ahead of you too. That's exciting. Currently busy maxing out all the hostesses. Nice. The hostess game is surprisingly addicting. There's so much fun stuff to do in those games. I love it.
Lady Shannon? That name sounds familiar. I'd better check my journal.
Alright, ship Lady Shannon, cargo 6 people, fragile instruments, several boxes of equipment, weapons and explosives, and supplies for 3 weeks. Well, the unfortunate thing there is they've been gone for way more than 3 weeks, so that's not good. Alright. There we get more clues for the stuff we're working on there. Harry was on this island, and I hope he's still here. I found a photo with all the expedition members, and I think I vaguely recognized some of them from the letters he sent me. Where do they all go? Do they set up camp somewhere else? That's a very good question. Let's see, is this a sequel to that last Cthulhu game we played where everyone went insane? No connection. No connection. Alright, what do we have up here now?
A mechanical bridge? That doesn't fit in with Polynesian traditions either.
No, it does not. That's weird.
This reminds me of those slot machines that Harry and I saw at the Atlantic City Pier, but a Polynesian version.
Well, I have no idea what to do with that right now. So we're going to hold off on messing with that for the moment. You're going to call them the Harry and the Hendersons? I love it. Perfect. Was it Sucker for Love? No, it was the one just called Call of Cthulhu, based on the tabletop role-playing game.
Years since I took such a long walk. This fresh air is doing me wonders.
I enjoyed that one. Had a good vibe to it. The mechanics felt pretty solid. I thought that one was pretty cool. Alright, what is this?
What a beautiful mountainous landscape.
That is lovely. Alright, what's down here? This little diversion right here.
I can feel the air is denser here in this mangrove swamp.
That'd probably be the humidity, I imagine. Yeah, they're working on a new one. I heard it got delayed, partially because they're like adding just tons of content to it. Which is very cool. Good reason to delay a game, I think. Ooh.
Rays of sunlight shining through. Another symbol.
Oh. Alright, collecting a whole bunch of those now. Let's see what's over this way.
Now that I've crossed half the world, I wouldn't mind crossing the other half. But I have to do it with you, old pal.
Aww. Those two seem sweet. What do we got here?
This sort of pond is a Polynesian fishing technique. There's another symbol inside it.
Alright, make a note of that.
A bone fish hook.
Yeah, there's signs of actual civilization here too, which is interesting. Not just the expedition. Love me a dating sim, but especially a weird dating sim, it's a good time for those right now. Especially if you're over on itch.io. Oh crap! Yeah, the voice acting is really solid in here so far. We've, aside from the captain, we've pretty much only heard the main character, but she's doing a very good job of being evocative of the era, I think.
Oh my, this is so beautiful. What were these birds called? Lorikeets. Cole's lorikeets.
This is gorgeous, holy crap! Alright, let's see what we got around here. Got a bunch more of these little pillars. And birds everywhere, which is adorable. Tell me dating sim isn't also just therapy sim? I mean, sometimes. Sometimes you do get both in the same, which is very nice. Yeah, it's still really confusing to navigate all of those games from those giant bundles. I haven't even started on most of them then. Oh, hello. Hey guys, sorry. Oh, little birdhouse.
There are lorikeet feathers scattered around this unu. I'll draw the symbol in my journal.
That's super cute. If it's my issue, I get to choose the coping mechanism. Amen to that. Itch does have a launcher. It doesn't solve everything, but yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that they have those bundles. I continue to get those bundles because it seems like a good way to send money to charity, but yeah, I really wish they had a better way to navigate those things. Oh, hello.
This looks like cargo from an earlier voyage, long before Harry's expedition.
The Sumatra Queen. Interesting. Still have to click every single goddamn game individually. That's super frustrating. It really is. I have found some really good stuff on Itch, though. I will say I wouldn't ever recommend using Itch as your primary store, because Itch has one thing that none of the other stores have, which is on Itch, if a publisher unpublishes their game, you lose it from your library. Which that kind of sucks. And I've had that happen a couple times. So, like, I really do think there's lots of cool things to buy on Itch, but make it your primary store. Honestly, listen, this day and age, anything you can find to soothe the soul, just go for it. It's hard times.
A shortcut. That's convenient.
Hi, got a nice little Dark Souls shortcut. See, there's our boat, so we're back where we started. That's pretty neat. Alright, let's see how our journal's looking now. That's strange. Polynesians don't use doors, much less mechanisms to protect a door. If I want to reach the inner island, I've got to open it. Nora, dear, this is no ordinary island. I needed the key and I received in the mysterious package to enter the island. What does this mean? I found the missing piece to open the door. It opened the entrance to a mangrove swamp in the inner island. I'm cut off from the heart of the island by a strange mechanical bridge over a river. Someone went to a lot of trouble to keep people away from this place. And then, so I've got 5 symbols that I found. Alright. Well, I suppose... let's head back to that mechanism, see if we can figure it out there. There's no DRM, so yeah, you can just download the stuff and then keep the stuff yourself.
Harry
so there's
said that he would go to the end of the world to find a cure. And by the looks of it, he wasn't lying.
Truth.
We promised we'd never lie to each other from the moment we started dating, no matter how harsh the truth.
Chat, but why was it closed? Shane, this is super handy. This will be nice for my purposes, and I will not think about the deeper consequences. Yes, quote 96. I forget what game that was, but I was having trouble with a puzzle, and I definitely started losing my entire mind trying to figure out a way to solve that puzzle. And that is a thing that actually came out of my mouth because I rambled like absolute crazy. Rin, I appreciate that you did that. I really do. Alright, so there are 5 symbols here. And we do have 5 symbols in the journal. We don't actually have any clues as to the order of things. But I noticed that on the pillar it's arranged vertically. So there is something we could try, if nothing else. We could try doing it, like, in order of vertical domain? So, like, we put birds at the top. That's the 3 arrows pointing to the right. Let's try that. There we go. So we put birds at the top. Then mountains. That's the 3 spikes. We already got that. Oh, no, sorry. The sun would be at the top, right? Yeah, sun's at the top. Then birds. Then mountains. Then ocean, then fish? Maybe? Try that. That's ocean, and then fish is that one. Alright, so that doesn't work. Let's see, let's see, is it mountains, then birds, maybe? Possibly? No, that doesn't work either. They put birds at the top, birds, then sun, then mountains? I suppose that could be a thing. No? Weird. Oh, and there's a button at the bottom. I probably have to press the button first. Oops. That's probably my problem.
Well, I guess I hit the jackpot.
There we go.
That's my ticket across the river then.
The one time I don't automatically press the button for no reason. That did sound interesting. I would be curious about that one as well.
Steady now.
The scenery in this game is absolutely gorgeous. Dreamfall chapters. I did not remember. Thank you, Rin. I appreciate that. Paradigm Paradox. That's a hell of a name. I dig it. All right. So what was that bridge protecting is the next question. A loading screen. Dangerous. All right.
How long have I been walking? I've lost track of the time.
Chapter 2, The Everheart Expedition. Quote 150 just sounds like the kind of things I say and then immediately regret. Which is most things, actually. That's dedication, Rin. Thank you for that. All right.
Wow, what is this place?
Chet, I think we may have found base camp.
To have a look around this abandoned village. Harry's crew might have stayed here.
Quite possibly. All right.
This enormous stone slab looks like a mechanism to get up to the outcrop.
An elevator? That's a little weird.
Is something missing here?
It looks like it. All right.
A tiki, like something straight out of an adventure novel.
Cute.
It's some sort of Polynesian coat of arms. Is that an octopus?
Kind of looks like it, yeah.
The Everheart expedition. They set up camp here.
All right, yeah, we found base camp. Let's see if we can find any clues to what happened to everybody here. Hopefully. I don't see anything in this one. All right. What do we got next? These are the questions I wonder myself, Bob.
Could these tikis be some sort of guardians?
Possibly.
Something's missing inside that emblem.
It looks like it.
A Polynesian man covered in tattoos. I'm not sure if he looks angry or scared. Well? What well?
The guide doesn't want to be near the ruins. Why is he so afraid of that well? Well, we haven't found a well yet, so we'll keep looking here.
So now you believe in magic, old pal?
He gave one of these amulets to each of us, only Harry kept his. Interesting. Maybe we can find one for our own use. You know, just to be safe. Just in case.
Fascinating.
These ancient geometric stone structures are not Polynesian. What purpose did they serve? Very good question there.
Looks like some of the crew members didn't get along too well.
And somebody decided to take a picture of them arguing.
A forbidden ritual?
He's warning us about those ruins. He says that some sort of forbidden ritual took place here. Interesting. I'll bring him to ruin. Well, yes, it's archaeology. That's what you want me to. That's what we want you to do. Please and thank you.
Let me record it. So, you said you've been on this island before.
Yes. Some years ago. I made a rookie mistake. I detoured from my fishing route to go to what looked like a better spot. Less than an hour had gone. By when suddenly, my va'a, my canoe overturned. And I got this lovely souvenir from that mistake.
Heavens, what gave you that scar?
It's not a what, but a who. I don't know. I didn't get a good look at it. But it seemed like a sea creature I never seen. Anyway, I was lucky enough to reach that Whitesand beach. The one where we landed on the island. A man came 3 days later and got me out of there. He brought me to the port of Papeete without speaking a single word. Time passed, And I promised myself that I would go on with my life and forget about this damn island.
Why did you agree to return to the island then?
I need to know what happened to me, to discover the truth. I don't know if you get me.
Absolutely.
Alright, so one of those voices sounded like the guide they were showing before. That's interesting. And now we know why he came to the island and why he really didn't want to. Basically. Hey, Eric Director, welcome in. How are you doing today? Oh, Batman 66, nice. I've seen the TV show. I don't think I've seen the actual movie. How did you like it? I hope you had a good time with it. What do we got over here?
They're composed of 4 pieces.
Seems like it.
It's broken, but I might as well draw what I can see of it in my journal.
Alright. That'll be useful, I imagine.
I've never cared much for games of chance.
Huh. Those are, suits. Like playing card dice? That's interesting. Adam Westy? I would hope so.
This fella sounds pretty hot-headed.
July 14th, 1934. I came to this godforsaken island for just a few days, and it's been almost 2 weeks already of doing nothing. Is this rich jerk going to open that hatch anytime soon? I'm not going to wait for Mr. Know-It-All again like I did at the elevator. He'd better let me handle the situation. We brought dynamite for a reason. Oh, that sounds like a situation that went the wrong way.
Blowing an ancient hatch with dynamite sounds like a fool's errand to me.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Ooh, looks like someone didn't like you very much, Harry.
Oh, that's amazing. Nothing on the back of that one. All right. What we got here?
I'm not sure what to expect on this island, but I hope I won't regret not having a gun.
Somebody had a gun. Which seems a little bit concerning, honestly. Oh, mirrored gear. Might have just been used as a mirror. I see some razors right there.
Who worries this much about their appearance in a place like this?
That's a very good question.
Nice comb.
Very fancy. Alright.
His real name was Costas?
Interesting. You got the next of kin on there.
Looks like this fellow was a real heartbreaker.
Who brings these on an island expedition?
Quite a looker. A fashion model, maybe.
To Roy, the best stuntman in Hollywood. This guy's a stuntman? Why did they bring a stuntman on an expedition? Are you a vampire? No reflection? I did notice that. I was waiting to see if we'd be able to see ourselves. Hey, Eversados, you think I'll enjoy this game? I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. It seemed like it was really neat when I tried it out. Also, Hisanka, welcome in. How are you doing today, Hisanka? Hope you are doing well. Glad to have you with us. I missed a little bit of chat. I'm getting caught up there. That was a very Greek name, most definitely. All right.
Very neat.
Good to be tidy. Oh, good.
They were packing a lot of heat when they came to this island, but they took all the guns with them.
That seems a little worrying. What were they carrying guns to defend themselves from? Is the next question there. What was their concern that they needed to have the guns out? Warmed microwave cushion thing? Hopefully that helps. I know that usually helps me when I get the back of my neck tensed up.
Someone on the expedition died.
Ooh. Yeah, that does appear to be a gravestone. Roy Granger.
I never thought that this expedition would cause anybody's death. I'm sure Harry never thought so either.
That's
If
the
he'd known
guy.
this was going to happen, he'd never have come here.
That's the guy whose tent we were just in. He died? That's concerning. Wild boars would be a problem. Those things will kill the crap out of you. Hisanka, I keep putting the book I'm reading aside, keep getting distracted. Me too. I'm only getting like one chapter in, like 1 or 2 chapters a week at the moment, but I'm still working my way through. Sun's out, guns out, that is the rule, it's true. Hey, Roxana, welcome in. Oh, God. Where's the red button? I need to hang up. What's your favorite Batman of the movies? It's been a long time since I've seen most of them. I really like the original Tim Burton one, though.
A farewell message from a friend.
Roy Frank. I guess we'll have to finish our game in the afterlife. Rest in peace, Pally. Huh. They were keeping track of hands. Interesting. Alright.
Did they use all the dynamite?
I mean, all the boxes of dynamite seem to be empty. That's a little concerning. The Batman is really good. I haven't gotten around to seeing that one yet. I still need to. Oh yeah, Dune 2 is almost here. I still haven't seen the first one. I love the 80s Dune though, but I haven't seen the new one yet. I'm so far behind. Exploding sharks. If I see some sharks, I am blowing them up.
What a delicate piece of craftsmanship. Something's missing here.
Yeah, they don't have a plaque over the door. Alright. You gonna see in here?
He seems confused, as if he was having a hard time writing this down.
If anyone needs me, I'll be in the medical tent on the flat outcrop. After what happened, I'd better find out more about the... well... Interesting. Lynch himself called it the worst movie he ever made. You know me, Hasanka. I love cheese. And it is a very cheesy movie. Makes me very happy. People hate on Val Kilmer's Batman, but I thought he was great in the role. He's not my favorite, but he's not my least
I haven't
favorite
been
either.
close to a grave since my mother's burial. Shortly after she died, my lovely Dalmatian spots, as Harry used to call them, appeared. We thought it was nothing at first.
She got those spots on her hand after her mother died. That's interesting. Yeah, the 80s Dune did not do very well compared to its enormous budget. But I believe it probably made its money back later on in the secondary markets. I've seen that movie like 6 times. Classic movie night material then? Hell yeah. Who is your least favorite Batman? Probably Clooney? Probably Clooney. I'm glad your mom liked it, Eric Director. That's awesome of you. Is she part Trill? I feel like you'd know if you were part Trill, presumably. What do we got back here?
Look at this little fella.
Oh, that's one of the protective amulets they were talking about.
An amulet with a carved Marquesian cross. The symbol represents balance and protection.
Can we take the protective totems? I feel like we could use a little bit of safety.
Why is this hammock so far from the rest of the campsite?
That is a very good question. Like Doctor Who, when I dislike Batman, it's rarely about the lead actor. Fair enough. Fair enough. Really disliked the Batman that had the Superman tie-in? I don't think I've seen that one. I haven't seen a DC movie in quite some time.
Cuts through that canyon. It doesn't look safe to cross.
Yeah, who knows how deep that's gonna get.
What peculiar rock formations. Is this basalt?
Think so. I'm not exactly much on my geology. Alright, Hasanka, let me know if you know. I would be curious who that is. Oh yeah, it seems inevitable that before they're gonna... It was inevitable they're gonna remake Wonka again. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they did more prequels. Ben Affleck, right. I heard some people liked him. I haven't seen the movie, but he seems like an odd choice for me. Like, I think I could buy him as Batman, but not as Bruce Wayne. And you gotta get you somebody that can do both. That's super important.
Oh, I must have found the luxury huts. Pretty swanky.
Alright, what do we got over here? Did you watch Snyder's Justice League? I haven't yet. That's like at the top of my list of DC movies that I want to see, but I haven't seen it yet. And there's the Snyder cut as well, so, you know, there's encouragement to watch it twice, which seems like a lot.
Look at him. Giddy as a schoolboy. Icor?
Black, and then he crosses out Icor and writes ooze. Interesting. Alright, what else we got over here?
What mess did you get into, Harry?
Starry Wisdom, Providence, Rhode Island. Mr. Everhart, we deeply regret your refusal to accept our funding for your expedition. We've always had an excellent relationship with your family, and we really consider this venture a unique and profitable opportunity for both parties. We wish you the best of luck on your journey. You surely are going to need it. Yours sincerely, Caleb Bowen, the Starry Wisdom Society. Well, that sounds like a threat. That's why he crumpled it up, I suppose. Let's see, one of my very favorites is, of course I've just lost the name, the one from the original Tim Burton Batman. I really loved his portrayal. I thought he was a good fit. I wouldn't think he'd make a good Batman, but he did a really good job in the role. Michael Keaton, thank you. I thought Michael Keaton did a really good job. Like, obviously he's a good fit for Bruce Wayne, but like, for some reason he just made Batman work. I appreciate that. I adore Tim Burton. There's a point where I stopped liking his movies, but like 1980s Tim Burton, perfect. Perfection. Love that stuff. You got the original Batman, you got Nightmare Before Christmas, you got Edward Scissorhands, of course. Beetlejuice, of course, can't forget that. I had a VHS of Frankenweenie growing up. I don't know how many people have seen that one.
That Frank seems to feel guilty for whatever happened. I feel really bad for him.
Right, the one where he resurrected the dog. That was actually notoriously out of print for a very long time, and it was only a few years ago you were able to buy it again. Hard to notice past Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones, they were devouring some scenery, this is true. Let's see. Yeah, there was a lot of people that didn't want him to be playing the role. Like I said, I probably wouldn't have wanted him playing it either, but he made it work. He made it work. EP, a fan of Frankenweenie? That's awesome. Yet a lot of people that never heard of that one. Mr. Everhart, I still don't understand what happened. Roy knew just as well as you and me that the black ooze was highly volatile. I should never have believed him when he said he had your permission. I feel responsible for what happened. So I'm guessing he used the dynamite and that black ooze, because it's volatile, it amped up the explosion and things went really bad.
Interesting.
You put the thing in the thing. Good to know. Bernadette Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I didn't like that one as much as the original, but I didn't think it was bad on its own either. Hellion, you can't see Tommy Lee Jones as anything but Kay. I think that's the most iconic role for me, personally. A lot of comedians that crossed to action in that era. Oh yeah, Bruce Willis. A lot of people forget he was a comedian to start out with. Also, Michael Keaton. I actually found out, I never knew this, Michael Keaton did some stand-up in his early days, and his stand-up is so weird. I really enjoy it. I can understand why a lot of people didn't though, but I thought it was pretty cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, Beetlejuice 2 coming out. I don't know how that's gonna go, because, you know, when you do a sequel like several decades after the original, I'm suspicious, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see. Oh, I need to see Birdman 2. I have so many movies on my to-watch list.
Considering how poorly Harry draws, this isn't half bad.
You need to watch the stand-up immediately after stream. Drop a note in TV and movies in Discord if you want, and I will link the TikTok that I found that has one of his stand-up bits. It's incredible. It's so weird. Alright, so we got ruins, remains from old civilization, related to disease. So that must be that little stone platform we saw right there. Because there's the huts as well. Interesting. So we need to get up there to see those ruins. Dr. Butt Lasers, welcome in. That one's on my to-watch list as well. But I have heard that one's very good. I am excited about that one. Yes, please. Someone kidnap me so I have no excuses not to just watch movies for like a week straight.
More drawings.
Thing go up? Question mark? That's a good question. You know, I like the Tron sequel too. It wasn't perfect, but it captured the vibe. I did enjoy that one. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't mind watching it again one of these days.
It's been ripped out of something else.
Alright.
I've seen Harry keep even restaurant checks for bookkeeping. He would never tear up a piece of valuable information.
Well, somebody tore this thing up. I don't know why, but let's see if we can piece it back together, shall we? That's right there. It does go right there. Excellent. That's there. Move some stuff out of the way. Alright, this one looks like it's not going to be super difficult to piece together. That's always good. Put this here. Alright, I think this is going to go here, right? Yeah, that works. And I see that little divot right there, so that fits right in there. It's right there, looks like. Almost got it here. And
Got it.
now the question is, who tore that up? And why?
The parts of the tiki on this column seem movable.
Oh, alright. We have our next puzzle, it appears. Apparently it wasn't important enough to actually destroy the pieces, which could indicate that whoever shredded it was in a hurry. That would make sense. Yeah, put some pride in your vandalism, people. Agreed, Dr. Butt Lasers, agreed. Such a pretty movie, and like for a Tron movie, you want it to have that kind of look. Alright, so we've got the 4 tikis. We've got an order of 4 symbols right there. And we had the, let's see, we had the symbols were above the doors, too. So I bet what I have to do here is figuring out what symbol was on the hut with which tiki, and that'll show me the order of the pieces to put in this tiki right here. All right, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, we'll have to go back a little bit, but that should be okay. Let's see. I figured out the symbols that were needed to open the bridge. The sun, birds, a mountain, the sea, and fish. Now it's time to cross the bridge and venture deep inside the island. The path through the jungle led to an abandoned campsite set up in the remains of an old village. Could this be where Harry's expedition stopped? Harry had to intervene in an argument between the islander and a member of his crew. The Polynesian man seemed to be afraid of the rituals that took place in these ruins. Roy Granger, a member of Harry's expedition, died. There was a plan behind Harry's back to blow up an ancient door with dynamite, which did not go well. Alright, let's go back to the other huts. See if we can figure out.
You put together quite an expedition, Harry. And all just for little old me.
Actually, let's check over here, because we haven't searched this yet. And then we'll go back and check out the huts and figure out the order we need of those. Wizards don't have an ounce of logic. Some guy in a hat, welcome in. And Hallian, you have a good rest. Take care of yourself. Thanks for hanging out. And we will see you around.
The Harry Everhard I know would never have given up on this. Something must have happened that kept him from solving it.
This is so frustrating. I know I'm close, but I can't find the right combination. Dots and circles.
Black ooze. In a telescope?
That seems a little bit weird. I didn't ask the size of the room. I said I cast fireball.
Other planes of existence. That's bats.
Tilligast's Spectacles Lens Aligner. An unsurpassed technological device from every point of view. After a specific alignment, this device concentrates the resonance wave spectrum in an optical impression. Observing the lens will affect the subject's pineal gland, allowing them to gaze into other planes of reality outside the spectrum we consider our dimension. Type B machine. And there's a bunch of technical specs I can barely read, but I don't think they're going to be super important. But what is the secret of the ooze? Those did look a little bit like Dragon Balls, it's true. All right. Interesting. Whoa! All right, this seems incredibly complicated. Doesn't seem to do anything right now. Oh. All right. That moves the dot. That places black splotches. Alright, so that must have been the note with the combination he was trying to find. Yellow bellows back there, that is super weird. Alright, well we definitely don't know what to do with this yet, so we'll leave that for now.
I'm not really sure how this thingamajig works, or what to do with it.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
My dear old pal, I know you won't ever read this letter, but I'm accustomed to writing you and it comforts me in this strange place. This island is riddled with secrets. So many secrets. But I'm not only talking about mechanisms and contraptions, Nora. I dare say that something on the island clouds one's judgment. Otherwise, I don't have an explanation for Roy's actions. The man was arrogant, impulsive, and a little cocky, but he was no fool. We weren't friends by any means, but he didn't deserve what happened to him. Nobody deserves that. We may have made some progress in finding the cure for your illness, but at what price? I miss you so much, Nora. Harry.
He may not say it explicitly, but Harry blames himself for Roy's death. I know him too well. And I miss you too, Harry.
Can we lick the ooze? Don't taste the volatile, weird black compound. Alright.
Jeepers, a stranded ship.
It's a big old ship, too.
Something's missing here.
It seems like there's a lens that's supposed to go at the top. Interesting.
This explains why the campsite is nearly abandoned.
Tell the others to pack up as fast as they can. We have to get to the beach, Black Sand Beach. Something's happening to the ship. Bring only what's indispensable. Interesting. What ship and what was happening to it, I wonder? Alright, another flyer right there. Alright, I think that's all we can see here. So, let's go back and see if we can solve this puzzle, shall we? I think that's our next priority. Yeah, if it was so urgent, why did you write it down? I think he was leaving in a hurry. And just left that for other people so he could get a move on. Oh, there's a ladder right there, but the bridge is up right now, so I can't get through there yet. But that's probably our ultimate goal right there, is getting across that bridge.
Harry hated asking his parents for money to fund this expedition. The Everharts are a wealthy Boston family, quite old-fashioned. They were never really pleased with his eldest marrying a middle-class girl. That's why he wanted to get away from them as soon as he could. Just like his siblings did after him.
Alright, so let me grab my handy dandy notebook here and we'll take some notes. It's video game NPC syndrome, like when they write cryptic warnings of little use with their last remaining blood on the walls. That does happen an odd amount of times, it's true. In video games, anyway. Everyone's writing notes to no one in particular in video games. Alright, so this is the octopus hut. And that's the tiki right there. Let's see, let's check our notes. Looking through the telescope, I saw a ship stranded on a black beach on the other side of the island. That must be the Lady Shannon, the ship that took the expedition here. Alright, so the octopus is tiki number 4. Or the fourth in the order. Well, that's the second one on our page right there. Alright, so let's go, let's do blank, 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 blank. So number 4 is tiki number 2. Got that. If we can't figure out all of them, we can infer, I imagine. There's decoration for the bathroom of an apartment you lived in. Oh, nice. Complete with blood splatter and bloody handprints. Hopefully you weren't renting. Alright, this is the one...
Something's missing inside that emblem.
This is the one that's been removed. And the turtle is the one that we saw got removed. So the turtle is the first one. And that tiki is... number 1. So tiki number 1 is number 1 in the order. That's handy. Alright, if we can figure out one more, we should be able to infer the rest. I think this one was broken. Oh, landlady was your grandma and you repainted when you left? That works then, that works. Alright, I see a little curly Q down there. Means it's probably the manta ray right here. So the manta ray is number 3. And number 3 is... tiki number 4. Alright. And with that, we can infer the last one. So, we've got everything we need to hopefully solve that tiki puzzle. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, NPCs and their constant note leaving. Very weird. Alright. So, here is the tiki puzzle. Let's see what we got here. So, number 1 is this guy right here. Bingo. Part 2 is the spiky eyebrows. There we go. Part 3 is the tongue out. We already got that. And part 4 should be the tentacle arms crossed.
A secret compartment.
Brilliant! Alright, what do we got in here?
This appears to be the shrine of a Polynesian chieftain.
Why would they hide this? Super weird.
Wow, really old photo. The island is wearing a lot of tribal ornaments, but none of them seem Polynesian.
Super weird.
What kind of stone is this? I've never seen any substance quite like it. It feels... disturbing.
Yeah, it looks like the black parts are actually ooze. That's kind of creepy. And of course, we're taking it with us. I suspect I even know where that's going, actually. Harry managed to solve the tiki puzzle and open a secret compartment inside the chieftain's hut. That's where he kept his ritual garments and a strange stone block. Touching it made me feel uneasy. Don't lick the stone! You're absolutely the member of the expedition that would turn into a monster first? Oh no. R.I.P. Turatark bit a thing he should not have bit. Alright, so I bet that stone goes in that big cliffside gap we saw. Let's go find out. 100% the a-hole who gets too curious in the horror story. In a horror movie, I would be the one that doesn't put down the camera. Which means I get killed near the end at least, but I definitely get killed.
How is that possible? What fascinating technology. Oh my!
It built an elevator. That's a little strange.
Oh my goodness, what happened here?
Oh, I see the scorch marks. This must have been where the dynamite incident happened. Rin, you're the one that turns around at the ominous traitor on the way up to the Doom place. An excuse to go home, don't mind if I do. Gamagumo, you're the cold open death. There always needs to be one. I appreciate you taking the hit. Very noble of you.
That black ooze again.
July 14th, that imbecile Roy blew the hatch to smithereens and blew himself up with it. Don't worry, Doc. I have Mr. Everhart's okay, and this is just a controlled detonation. Ha! 3 feet closer, and I wouldn't be here to tell the story. I got splashed with that black ooze and took me the whole damn evening to clean it off.
Skin alterations. Like the ones on my hands.
Skin alterations appeared on my left hand today, similar to angiomas. Allergic eczema? Cyanosis? Let's hope not. I took some samples of my blood to analyze. Ask for the photo of Everhart's wife's hand. Oh, he had the same concern right there. I'm the guy who says, I'll be right back, and then it's not right back. You always need one of those, too. That's important. Lots of notes here. Lots of notes. The spots on my skin are moving. I can feel them. Is there someone in the well? I can hear voices at night. In fact, I could swear they're calling my name. And who's playing that music? Well, that's spoopy.
Heavens, he's losing his mind.
Something about 1879 at the top. Stop playing that music. Stop it, stop it, stop it. That's enough. I like it very much. Oh, that gets increasingly creepier. So that guy got splashed with the black ooze, and then things went very badly for him very quickly.
Cripes! This man was splashed with that black liquid.
But it's a hell of an explosion there.
Whoever took this picture must have a really cool head.
Kissa, you'd be the final girl? Excellent. Excellent. That's a good way to be.
Those spots look all too familiar.
They really do.
Is this a picture of my hand?
It seems like it. Used for comparison there.
Erythrocytes. Aren't those red blood cells?
Undefined substance, pulsating, affecting erythrocytes. Well, that's concerning. Alright.
Ugh, I can't stand the smell of medical equipment. Reminds me of my illness.
Understandable.
I'd better not touch it. And given what happened, they shouldn't have either.
Truth, truth. Alright, I see a rope ladder I should say. I guess we're gonna see what was in the hatch.
Is this stone structure a hatch of some sort?
Let's climb down.
Well then, I'm going down. Come on, Nora. Deep breath.
Look, monsters are people too, and sometimes they just need to be shown that they're still valid and lovely and lovable. Truth? Truth? Can't judge a book by its cover. That's important.
Is somebody whispering? Hello? Is anyone down here? This eye, is it calling to me?
Why does the ooze whisper?
I feel disoriented down here.
Why is the ooze whispering?
Another eye. I hear whispering. Do they have 2 pupils?
Kind of seems like that's the implication there.
I hear it. I'd better draw it just in case.
That's concerning.
The whispering, it stopped. Was I imagining all that?
Seems to be some sort of puzzle on the floor, too. We'll get back to that in a second. Are we going down swinging? I hope we're not going down. Anytime I hear the word hatch now, I immediately think Lost. Oh, God. I remember that one, Rin. An absolute classic. Hope that dude's okay. I don't know that he is, though. Oh. Fancy carvings on the wall there. Holy crap.
You were close to something here, Harry. Let me see if I can solve it.
Rituals. Other realities? Forgotten civilization, not Polynesian. Black ooze used to replicate ritual. Check Tilligast pamphlet.
Well, this looks like another job by Handyman Harry.
Replicate ritual? Modify Tilligast's invention? We already saw that thing back there.
Maybe he heard the whispers too.
Mr. Everhart, the doctor's been acting like an oddball ever since he got splashed with that black ooze, and he's got worse after moving to the top of the cliff. Keep an eye on him, Frank.
Depicts a ritual of some sort. What are they doing to their eyes?
That's a very good question.
How old is this mural? It looks really ancient.
Interesting. And oh hey, we got another shortcut.
Well, that was easy.
That'll make getting back to the Tilligast device a little easier. All right. So what are we doing here is the next question. I don't think we have enough information. You would have gotten my notes. Let's see. Use the stone block from the secret compartment to activate some sort of ancient elevator. The gunk that many of the crew members refer to as black ooze seems to gurgle in the cracks in the stone. I found a shocking scene atop the cliff, as an explosion tore open an ancient stone hatch, burning most of the rocky outcrop around it. Is this what killed Roy? I climbed down the well that Harry's crew blew open. A series of strange eyes were depicted on the walls. They were calling me, guiding me. Am I losing my mind? The crew's doctor was splattered with the black ooze during the explosion that killed Roy. He developed marks on his arms like mine and started acting strangely. The murals tell a story of a ceremonial ritual involving the black ooze. Were they injecting it into their eyes? I'm not sure, but I think the islanders tried to imitate it. All right. Well, these could be what we need to solve the Tilligast thing. So let's head back there immediately. See what we can do there. All right. I have no idea what solving that thing is going to do.
Time.
but we will find out, I suppose. Black Ooze, what is this, Persona 5? I haven't actually gotten around to playing that one yet. I've played about halfway through Persona 1, and I played all of Innocent Sin on stream. That's the only Persona I've ever actually beaten. I really want to play more one of these days. Just gotta figure out when. I know I'm gonna enjoy 4 and 5, I just gotta have the time for it, I think. Alright. Well, let's combine these 3 on the machine, I think. Oh yeah, Persona 3, 4, and 5 are way different than 1 and 2, especially 1. 1's kind of its own thing. And 2 is kind of a transitional point between the two, I think. Alright, so let's start with this one in the middle. I think this one's the easiest. Alright, so we've got 3 different sizes of spheres. Small, medium, and large. That seems to be a medium right in the center. Do that. And then we need to go up. There we go. And that seems a little bit too high. What if we go down one? It could be it. A little hard to tell based on this picture, honestly. Let's do the bottom one next. So we'll go down 1, over 2. Put a big one right there. And we'll put a small one right there, maybe? I think that's probably right. Now I'll do the top one. We've got a large one at the bottom. And then a medium one just over from that. That medium one lines up with the small one there. I think right here. It doesn't seem to have done it. Alright, so this one should be above this one, I think. Right now I've got them lined up. Let's fix that. Alright, let's get rid of that. Move up one. Aha!
Yes, I think I solved it. I wonder what I might be able to see with this lens.
Lens with some weird black ooze on it? Who's to say, I suppose. Probably 1,000 hours. Nice, nice. SMT1. Oh god, I don't think I can do that. Hey, Lost, welcome in. So far, I'm really enjoying it. It's gorgeous visuals and some fun puzzles. Definitely don't go into it thinking it's a horror game because of the Lovecraftian elements. It's very much a puzzler.
It fits.
All right. So, what do we get when we look through it now?
What? What on earth? What is happening?
Well,
My
that's...
God. What was that I saw? What were those stars?
Very good question, but I think I know what we're doing with that at least. Harry tried to replicate the well ritual by tweaking his strange optical device, staining the lens with the black ooze. I don't think he ever achieved it, but I have. What I saw through that lens left me speechless. I get the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. Well, we've got a drawing of it now. Let's head back to the well and see what we can do with it. They're comfort games. When I feel overwhelmed, I just jump back to them and feel right at home. That's wonderful. Anytime you can find anything like that that just clicks with you like that, I think that's a wonderful thing. I know we get some people in here sometimes that are a little sheepish. They're like, oh, I put 2,000 hours into this game. I'm like, no, if you had 2,000 hours of fun with this game, don't be ashamed of that. That's awesome. You know, a lot of people don't ever find that game that they just completely, totally jive with. You've got 5K hours in Terraria? 5K hours of fun, that's a wonderful thing. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. Alright. Here's the well. First question is, do we have a starting point? Aha! Yes! One of the stars on the outside is gold. I'm guessing that's going to be the starting point. Start there.
I can press these star-shaped tiles.
And then they get a little bit gooey. Ew. Alright, then this one. Oh, making a path for the goo. Making a path for the goo. And then this one. And this one. Then this one. Then this one. And finally, this one.
Right, looks like I solved it.
And our reward is a button?
Great Scott! Oh, no. The well is filling up. That's black ooze. No. What's happening? What's happening? I'm feeling faint again.
So that kills us, I assume. It seemed incredibly dangerous.
What is this? Where am I? Am I dreaming again? This is different. It isn't my recurring dream. I can't stop walking. My legs aren't responding. Holy Moses, what is that creature on the horizon? Wait a moment. No! Ah! I can breathe. Underwater.
Well, that's unexpected. Hang on, LTG, thank you so much for a 73-month resub. I appreciate the heck out of that, LTG. How are you doing today? How's our weekend going? Hope everything is going good with you. And Alex is playing. Welcome in, Alex. Welcome in, Alex Raiders. For anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Shane. That's Shane's Games. I play the obscure, the unusual, and the nostalgic. And today we're playing Call of the Sea, a first-person puzzle game with Lovecraftian influences. And Emperor, thank you so much for the gift sub to Alex right there. Gift sub number 1,540 in the channel. Appreciate the heck out of that. Excuse me. We are pretty far from Innsmouth right here, most definitely. Let's see, Half Drunk Hero, who is Shane? Shane is me, and Shane is also games. So that should answer your question. How are you doing, Half Drunk Hero? Hope everything is going good with you. And if anybody here isn't following Alex, he definitely should. He plays a little bit of anything, a little bit of everything, including a bunch of multiplayer games he plays with chat, and in general, just a blast to hang out with. So make sure you click that link, give him a follow, check him out next time he's live. You're gonna have a great time over there. It's good. He's good people. He's a good egg, I should say, to borrow a catchphrase. As the LTG, I may have got critical hit a few times by shadows and Persona needed a break. Fair enough. Fair enough. This is a safe place for that. Take a seat. Relax. Welcome in. Also, I saw Board Jams has invested in a Harvester sequel. We're going to put black goo in Harvester. What will the black goo do? You won't know. It won't appear to do anything at all until you eat it, and then it kills you. And then when you resurrect yourself, you've also got a black goo clone running around. What is he doing? He's unsolving all of your puzzles. So if you need to return to an area, you're going to need to solve the puzzle again because your evil clone has undone it. That dastardly bastard. Oh, you're Shane who is games? That is I. I is me. Shane is games. I is Shane. Shane is a good R-Truth. Oh my god, R-Truth is absolutely doing amazing things right now. I laugh every time I see his segments. He's so good. And I thought Baba is Baba. I'm so confused. Alright, so... I can swim.
I have to get back. I have to find... What is that? What kind of creature is this? I need to get a closer look.
Yes, closer. Well, that was a little spooky. Ocean friend!
What happened? Oh, how did I get to this beach? Oh, I have a terrible headache.
Well, Chapter 3, The Vanishing of the Lady Shannon. Well, the weather seems to have taken a turn for the worse. I don't know how we got here, though, it's true. I need to play Baba Is You sometime. I've seen other people play it. It looks fascinating. Baba Is You and Wall. Gotcha, gotcha. That clears things up. Baba Is Win? I wish. Does the Lady Shannon know Ethan Carter? We'll have to find out. I have many questions for this lady. If she is indeed a lady, because I have a sneaking suspicion that Lady Shannon is actually a boat. Dun dun dun. Plot twist. Hope I didn't spoil it for anybody.
That ship, torn apart and cast so far up the beach. What on earth could have happened to it?
Yeah, it would have taken a lot of force to get the boat this far up the beach. That's, awfully interesting. Also, when did this storm roll in? That's a good question there. Baba Is You is fun but frustrating. It's the kind of frustrating I think I like. Like, Dark Souls frustrating, not my jam, but Baba Is You frustrating, I feel like I could get behind that. Alright, what the heck do we have back over here? Seems like another camp, maybe? Or something? Baba Is You, game is poster. I love that. Baba is push, you is wall. Little lighting rig there.
Ropes are frayed, and there are strange marks on the wooden pole.
It is strange. What were they doing over here? Why do they have the light pointed at it? You know, two lights. What was going on over here? When someone comes in and doesn't ask if they can help, and then they assert strongly that they have the answer, and it's wrong. Oh my god, yes. I've seen so many people. I saw a lot of streamers, they'll be like, I'm gonna try your solution, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to ban you. And then came the ban, and it was
like
delicious.
they took items from the stranded ship.
Alright. That note on the camp said they had to hurry because something was happening on the ship, but what is the next question? Oh, that's very Japan, LTG. I was very curious about foam stars, and now maybe a little bit less so.
It's too dark to see anything inside the tents. I should find a way to turn these lights on.
Although, of course, you know, there's always the eternal question of where does the ink come from in Splatoon. But the true answer to that is we don't think about that. We don't think about that. It's just a thing that happens. Don't worry about it. Alright, so I need to follow these cables. Figuring out what's powering all these lights so I can get them back on. The ink comes from Nintendo, of course. How silly of me. Stairs. Alright, there's a lot going on here. Alright, before I get too deep into this, I want to finish exploring the beach. It looks like we might be here for a bit. And then once we get the lights on, we should be able to explore all of this little campsite here.
My God. The ship's hull was ripped open. A few jagged rocks couldn't have caused a gash of this size.
It is pretty humongous. Let's see, is there anything else to see on the beach here? That's my next question.
I'm terrified. I've always been afraid of storms, but something, or someone, seems to be moving there on the reefs. Or is it just my imagination?
I don't see anything. I don't think I see anything anyway. All the same, though, I really don't want to stick around. Actually, I'm not sure what I do see out there. Let's leave! Let's make the executive decision to not be there. Oh, sure, it's nothing. Oh, phew. I was worried it was going to be something for a second there. Oh god, that might have been Ocean Friend there. It's true. A world of your imagination. Beautiful. I mean, that wasn't my boat. That was somebody's boat. That wasn't my boat. Alright. Yeah, I was hoping this is where the cables go, but I don't think so. There's a little something back here, though. What is that?
What kind of doodad is this?
I don't know, it doesn't seem to do anything. Weird. Maybe it needs to be turned on? Can I do that? Oh, it's probably unpowered, because we haven't found the power yet.
Wow, look at the size of these stones.
South Pacific Expedition megalithic basalt stones.
These symbols are linked to the piano keys.
It's part of a code right there. Sure, that'll come in handy at some point.
It might need to be turned on.
Whatever that is, it doesn't work right now.
A rock stained with black ooze. Looks like the prototype of something.
That son of a Dr. Witt stabbed Frank. Luckily, it was just a flesh wound. It's a good thing they held me back, or I would have plugged that nutcase like the rabid dog that... Jesus, what am I saying?
I've never seen Harry so angry.
Definitely a little weird right there. It might actually be an audio puzzle, which is concerning. Oh, jeez. Where's Stealth? Oh, God, I'm glad Stealth isn't here. Hopefully I never have to deal with that old jerk again. He's so mean.
Captain Hodgson told me that knowing the lunar cycles is useful for better navigation at night. So Harry probably took this calendar from the Lady Shannon.
Alright. Could be useful there. What else have we got in here?
You always did have a good ear, Harry.
I've been studying the structure for the last few days. The tones it emits change consistently with the tides. Interesting.
How can someone build something like this out of stone?
Huge stone pipe organ. Waves push air through carved stone tubes. That is really unique. That'll be very difficult to build as well. Feeling disconnected? Alright, I think that's all we can do in here till we get the power back on. I was hoping this is where we were going to get the power back on, but no. There are lights in here, but this isn't where the cabling leads. Alright, let's keep trying to follow that. Let's see, they definitely lead to this central point, but that just seems like a distribution node. I don't think that's where the power actually comes from. And cables over here. Cable's going right there. Cable's going over here. Into that. Leading over here. I'm not actually seeing a generator anywhere. Oh, it could be higher up, I suppose. Depending on where those cables go. Well, I guess time to check out the staircase then. Hey, Rapscallion, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you are having a good weekend so far. Glad to have you with us. Well, somebody's definitely been up there. Up here, I can see that. From that little wooden platform somebody built. But to what end?
Sometimes I still doubt whether this isn't just some ghastly dream.
Kinda feels like it, don't it? Just a bit, maybe. Dragon's Crown has a level inspired by it, specifically the Killer Rabbit. Oh, I gotta check that out sometime. I'm doing very good. Enjoying my weekend so far, Rapscallion. Ooh, not a bad day at all, Rin. Hope they are
It's curious, but it's the first time since I got sick that I feel useful. Harry is depending on me, and not the other way around.
Hope the Berliner is delicious. I was gonna say hope they are delicious, but probably don't want to eat the flour. You might be able to, but it's probably not good eats. Oggs chose wisely.
What odd structure. It doesn't look like a building, though.
Looks almost like an organ, which does fit since they were talking about tones coming through the pipes. Alright, unfortunately, no sign of any generator in here either. Nothing over here. Alright. Keep looking then. Let's see, you do have to beat half of Dragon's Crown to play it. The alternative route of the forest level, but it's a fun time. I've heard Dragon's Crown is interesting, if nothing else. I will admit to being curious. We do have some cables that go into here. Looks like they're just piped into the gear. I don't think there's an actual generator in here.
It might need to be turned on.
Alright, so where the heck is the generator then? I don't think any of the weird esoteric stuff in here is a generator. Couldn't be 100% sure though. If you like belt-scrolling beat-em-ups, I generally don't, which is the reason I haven't jumped into it yet. Oh, thank you, Rin. I appreciate that. I will definitely be checking that out after stream. Alright, is there anything in any of these tents that looks kind of like a generator? This maybe?
No power.
No. Whatever that is needs power. Maybe something over this way? don't know what this is. Oh, there's power over here. That's promising.
Some kind of improvised workshop.
Alright, what do we got here?
This must be the highest part of the island. And that diamond shape again. How striking.
Interesting.
You made it work, Harry. Now it's my turn.
Good morning, crew. Sorry for the reveille this morning. I didn't expect to wake all of you up with the noise from that awful organ. The good news is the organ revealed the entrance to the temple. The bad news is that the temple is on the mountaintop, so I hope you're in the mood for a good hike. All joking aside, if the temple has the answer that I'm looking for, we can finally leave this damn island and go home. Thanks for sticking with me. Alright. Oh, Dungeon Fighter Online? I really wanted to like Dungeon Fighter Online, but I was so frustrated that it didn't have native controller support. That still seems insane to me. Like, why?
So this is the reason the ship was scavenged.
Frank, if we want to enter the temple on the mountaintop, we'll have to reproduce the effects of the organ somehow. I know we weren't planning on this, but we'll have to build a machine with whatever we can lay our hands on from the Lady Shannon. Do you think you can do that, Harry?
What kind of machine were you building?
Very good question.
A blowtorch. Looks like it's been used a lot.
They were building something here. That's for certain. They just added controller support recently? I can't believe it took that long. That's so weird.
Harry isn't usually very chummy, but he really seems to like Frank.
Let's see. Frank, great idea. We'll move the materials we need to the summit so we can set up camp there. Just another thing. Please stop calling me Mr. Everhart. Call me Harry, as all my friends do. Aw, that's nice of him. He seems like a very personable guy. The lights are on here, but not all of them. Oh, geez, here's the backside of the ship. Wow. Oh, that's underneath the ship. Holy crap. Look at those scratches. What scratched up the ship like that? Oh, that's concerning. That is deeply concerning. Alright, what do we got over here? This does go somewhere. I can't see a thing over here, though. We're definitely going to have to get the power on before we can do anything there. The lights are on, but nobody appears to be home. Nobody except the monsters! Oh, jeez, relentlessly, that frustrates the hell out of me. That definitely stinks, I'm sorry. Alright. So, we have power over here. But I can't tell why. What is the difference with this place that has power? Is there something inside of the ship providing power? Oh, I do see... There does seem to be a cable going up inside the ship. I think that's where we're going to have to go then, inside the ship. I'm going to check up here, though.
When I get back home, I'm going to read up on engineering. I've been interested in knowing how things work since I was a child, but I always thought technology wasn't for me. What nonsense.
Alright, so what do we have up here? Oh, another little camp here. One appears to be powered as well. Ooh.
That huge stone door looks like an exit. How does it open?
No idea. Doesn't seem to be any way to open it from here that I can see, though. Alright. Well... Another path over here.
This ornate structure certainly isn't natural, but not man-made either.
Yeah, this is super weird. This is a humongous area, too. My gosh.
This feels ominous.
I don't know what the heck that is. Figure that out in a second. Oh, that seems like a very bad thing. This must be some sort of combination lock, I'm guessing. Gonna need to figure out what order to put those in. There's a staircase over there.
Must be instructions to operate this bizarre structure.
Tuning the organ by opening and closing the right tubes. Alright, so that's what they are. It's an elaborate control scheme. Speaking of elaborate, whatever that is, I can't mess with it yet. Okay. A couple more staircases over here. And check those out as well. Oh, jeez, Chugaboom, I'm sorry. Welcome in, though. Chugaboom, how are you doing? Aside from that, I hope we can make your day a little better. Ooh. That seems like a dead end. Interesting. Oh, there is another pipe over there. That's probably what those are for. Is that what the other stairs are for? Well, ain't that interesting. Alright, we'll mess with that later, because we have no idea what it does right now. Yeah, there's another set of stairs right here. Does that just lead to another pipe control? It does. Alright.
Those symbols seem to indicate the height of the tide.
Interesting, alright. Some more notes there. Oh, absolutely, Chugaboom. Glad to be here. Alright, so we got some notes there. The structure is magnificent, but I have no idea how it was built. The sounds are mesmerizing, like something from another world. We're still missing a lot of notes in here. We need to keep exploring. I think we gotta head to the ship next. I think we gotta get the power on before we start messing with this stuff. I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. Oh, glad your knee's doing better, Turtark. Hopefully it just keeps getting better from here. Hey, Valkos, good morning. The vibes are a little bit
Quite
creepy.
scared of storms. When I was a child, I used to cover myself with the sheets to not listen to the noise of thunder. I honestly doubt I'd like to cover myself with anything in here. Time to overcome my fears, I guess.
Little bit creepy, but lots of puzzles. I enjoy a good puzzle. How are you doing today, Valkos? Hope all is well with you. It's spooky. Yeah, we need a thunder buddy! Alright, so it's possible the ship itself is providing power. In which case, we're gonna have to go inside.
That is a doornail.
Yeah, this cable looks like it threads its way in there. Alright! This seems incredibly dangerous. It looked like the wires were going up to the top deck. That's probably where we're gonna have to go. Alright. Let's see what they got up there. Gloomy atmosphere there, so creepy vibes match the atmosphere today. Excellent, excellent. Well, let's say you're scared of thunder, so you'd absolutely be freaking out. Fair enough. Thankfully, you haven't taken yourself to an island 74 miles off the coast of Tahiti, because that right now is starting to seem like a bad decision. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe a little bit dangerous. Dennis Dornail? I actually do know where Dennis Dornail comes from.
Creeps.
So the thing is, several hundred years ago, what it was that nails were pretty valuable, so they were often reused. But when you were building doors, you wanted to make sure they were super sturdy. So after you nailed them into the door, you actually nailed down the end of it so it was curved and so the nail wouldn't come out. But that means that you couldn't reuse the nail ever. And if you couldn't reuse the nail, then it was dead. That is a doornail. That's it. A little weird to say it that way, but that's basically what it means. Did I get it right, Rin? I hope so. All right. I see more wires.
Can't see any trace of the ship's crew, nor their remains. No power.
All right, I see wires, so we are going the right way at least. That's good. That's good. Excellent. Hello?
That voice. Is that Harry? No, just a recording. What were you looking for in the heart of the island?
I was thinking this expedition had failed and was worried about how we'd get back home. But then I found those stairs that led me to the giant stone organ. It might be another way to get to the very heart of the island. In any case, there's nothing we can do until someone hears our distress call.
Frank is certainly a resourceful man.
I've wired up your message to the radio like you asked, Mr. Everhart. It'll keep broadcasting as long as the ship's got fuel. God help us. I'm surprised we never picked up the SOS in the ship that was coming here then. So why in God's name do you know this? I don't know. I read a lot of weird stuff. Oh, EP, thank you. That's really sweet of you to say. Hey, guy from Red Bank, welcome in. How are you doing today?
Even the crew of the ship that brought Harry's expedition to this island were afraid of it.
June 30th, 8:25 a.m. We delivered 6 members of the Everhart expedition to the island without incident. We'll come back to pick them up again in 3 weeks, if there's anything left to pick up by then. 12:40 p.m. left the island after lunch, no incidents. July 1st, 6 a.m. The area seems adequate for whaling and we might get a good catch.
This is the captain's last entry.
July 14th, 10:25 a.m. Good weather and clear sailing until a surprise undercurrent shook the ship. I haven't seen the sea that rough in years. 17:25 p.m. First mate swears he saw a huge sea creature near her hull shortly afterwards. Definitely not a whale. Oh, and that's their last entry. Good. Good.
The ship was whaling not far from here.
Alright, a little bit of a map right there. Alright. What else is there in here?
Maybe the legend is more real than it seems.
On the island of Ponape, there's a city called Nan Madol that's composed entirely of large basalt structures. Legend has it the city was built with floating stones moved by black magic. I do have concerns now. Oh, that's a big old combination.
These knobs must control the vibrations inside this chamber.
Fortunately, I have no idea what to do with that yet. I'll keep looking.
The black ooze's properties are perplexing.
Black ooze test changes consistency / levitates when exposed to different vibration frequencies.
And I was completely covered in that black goo. I wonder what it'll do to me.
Everything on this rotten island has something to do with that damn black ooze one way or another. Even Dr. DeWitt's irrational behavior seems to be related to his getting exposed to that awful liquid.
The Lady Shannon has run aground. Its crew
Oh, that is concerning.
unaccounted for. 5 of us have survived, but we're stranded on this island.
So,
Please send help immediately.
there's a trapdoor there, but I can't open it.
This is a distress call from
Alright, so that's definitely something, but we don't know what to do with it
4
yet.
nautical miles east of Tahiti. The Lady Shannon has run aground.
I don't think we can just mess with it, can we?
Unaccounted for. 5 of us have survived. But
Alright, that affects that first light there. Oh,
please send help immediately.
got the second one.
Distress call from the Everhart expedition. 74 nautical miles east of Tahiti. The Lady Shannon has run aground. Its
Weird.
crew is unaccounted for. 5 of us have survived, but we're stranded
Ooh.
on this island. Please send help immediately.
Some sort of combinatorics puzzle.
This is a distress call from the Everhart expedition. 74 nautical miles east of Tahiti. The Lady Shannon has run
Very
aground.
interesting.
Its crew is unaccounted for.
Alright, so
5 of us have survived, but we're stranded on this island. Please send help immediately.
the first one affects the 1 and 2. Yeah, let me make a note of this.
Is a distress call from the
So
Everhart
the first one affects 1 and 2.
east of Tahiti.
The second one,
Shannon has run aground.
or sorry, the first one affects 1 and 3.
Unaccounted for.
The second one affects 1 and 2.
Stranded on this island.
And the third one
Immediately.
affects 2 and 3. Alright.
This is a distress
All
call
right.
from the Everhart expedition. 74 nautical miles east of
Okay, 1 and 3, 1 and 2, and 2 and 3. So,
unaccounted for. 5 of us have survived, but we're stranded on this island. Please send help immediately.
alright, so,
This is a distress call from the Everhart expedition. 74 nautical miles east of Tahiti. The Lady Shannon has run aground.
let's turn everything down first.
Unaccounted for.
There we go.
5 of
Alright,
us
so,
have survived, but we're stranded on this island. Please send help immediately.
alright, that immediately gets 1 and 3 all the way up, which is a problem, because
Everhart expedition.
we've only got up to go from there.
4 nautical miles east of Tahiti. The Lady Shannon has
Well,
run
let's see,
aground.
1 and 3 are both relatively high.
Unaccounted for. 5 of us have survived, but we're stranded on this
Oh,
island.
2 is even higher than 1 needs to go. That's interesting.
This is a distress call from the Everhart expedition.
Alright.
74 nautical miles east of Tahiti. The Lady Shannon has run aground. Its crew
This is a very tricky puzzle.
unaccounted for. 5 of us have survived, but we're stranded on this island. Please send help immediately.
Ooh, this is really tricky. Alright,
It's a distress call from the Everhart expedition.
I want to mess with that
74
one.
miles east of Tahiti.
Can't really mess with that
The
one.
Lady Shannon has run aground. Its crew is
And then,
unaccounted for. 5 of us have survived.
that's 1 and 3.
Stranded on this island.
Let's
Please
that
send
up
help
just a little bit.
immediately. This is a
We need to get
distress
2
call
just a
from
little
the
bit higher.
expedition. 74 nautical miles east of
Or a lot higher.
The Lady Shannon has run aground.
Wow, 2 needs to go up really high.
Unaccounted for.
Or is it up too high
5 of us
now?
have survived, but we're stranded on this island.
Where the heck is 2 going?
Please send help immediately.
Alright, 2 is actually pretty low.
Is a distress call
That's part of the problem there.
expedition. 74 nautical miles east
Alright, so,
The Lady Shannon has run aground. Its crew is
alright, there we go.
5 of us have survived.
There we go.
Stranded
I'd better write down those numbers in my journal.
All right. There we go. Brute force, best force. Although I think there was some educated guessing in there. All right. Go back and see what we got here. Let's see. I lost consciousness inside that well and got covered in black ooze, but I didn't drown. Instead, I had the strangest dream. I mean, it was a dream, wasn't it? Or a vision, maybe? I'm still not sure. I couldn't control my own body. I jumped off a cliff and dove into the sea. November 7th, I woke up in the dead of night on a black beach, but I can't remember how I got here. I've just got fuzzy memories like a dream. An enormous shipwreck casts its shadows over the black sand on the beach. Looks like lights are shining through the cracks in its hull. A terrible storm is approaching, and out on the reefs the lightning seems to reveal some strange figures. Is this a product of my imagination? Gosh, I hope so. Alright, we got the frequencies there. Got the sea level chart there. We got the moon chart there. Thank you for the GGs, folks. I appreciate that. All right. That's good, but unfortunately did not get the power on yet. We're still working on that. But we've got other rooms to work with here. Doesn't seem to be anything else back here. Let's head down that other path here. See what's down here. Because I saw some wires going down here. But this could be the thing as well. Oh, this is kind of spooky. The Lady Shannon out of Sydney. Ooh, yes, this looks promising.
This isn't right. Nope, wrong. Damn it.
Oh.
I'll try again.
Is this just an order puzzle? This is just an order puzzle.
Damn it.
Alright, we can do that.
All green. Now, what exactly did I turn on?
Brute force, best force. Alright, so these seem to be relays. So now we need to go back, and as we go, we need to make sure all the relays are turned on. And that should get us power back at the camp. Let's have fun with electricity on a wet ship that's been grounded here for who knows long. Yay. A brilliant idea. Alright. I keep following the
God
wires.
knows how long I've been covered in this black liquid. I wonder what it's going to do to me. Although I doubt anything could be worse than my illness.
This is how you go through life, isn't it? You see a button, you push it. That is kind of my entire ethos. My entire lifestyle. They're just so shiny, Ren. So shiny. Alright, there was another one back here, wasn't there? Yes, I see a flashing light.
At last, some light.
Whew.
That should make things easier.
Alright, now we can fully explore the camp. And there's those weird notches.
Ropes are frayed, and there are strange marks on the wooden pole.
Light doesn't really reveal much else there. That's interesting. Yeah, 172 getting tons of use today, it would appear. Alright, let's go through the camp now, see what we can see. Oh, hello. Go ahead and turn another relay on. Good, that lit up the cave. We'll get there next. But first, let's see what we can see out here. Anything interesting that we missed before? Not in there. How about in here?
Discarded clothing. It hasn't been worn in a long time. A handkerchief with the letters EDW embroidered on it. It's stained with blood and black ooze.
That's not good.
A white fedora. It's really dirty.
Who brings a white fedora on an expedition? Seems like you're just asking for trouble there. Hey, Celestial Knight, welcome in. How are you doing today?
Oh dear. This dock was a certifiable loon.
Yesterday the stones danced with my song, my song. Everything is tuned in this place. There is a treasure. Oh, geez. Yeah, he's a little bit Looney Tunes. That looks like the dagger that was sent to us, though, interestingly enough.
These medical tools are hair-raising. The doctor was certainly well supplied with all kinds of substances.
A little concerning that he was the one that went nuts, then.
I'm glad you stayed by his side, whoever you are.
Frank, I understand what you are saying, but we can't leave Harry here alone. I know you must be thinking I'm only interested in a scoop, but what would you do if it was your wife who was sick? Would you let her die? I'm staying here to the end. C. So that must be the voice we heard on that tape recording in the first chapter, or the second chapter, I suppose.
Looks like Frank wanted to leave, but I don't know if Harry ever read this letter.
Miss Ward, our lives are in grave danger on the island. Look what happened to Dr. DeWitt. The man is going completely bananas. I really think we should get off this island as soon as possible. Mr. Everhart was determined to leave until he found that organ thing. Do I have your support to try to convince him, Frank? So C. Ward is the name of that woman, who apparently was a reporter who went with the expedition.
These two fellows seem to get along pretty well.
Frank and Tahora singing while working in the workshop. Interesting. Alright. So, let's see what we can do with the power on in the cave now. Is there anything over here? Oh, what was over here? These some interesting looking lights. Man for the 1930s bring White Fordor on an expedition. Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
Never heard of this Eric Zahn fella.
Oh, Eric Zahn! That is definitely a Lovecraft reference. One of my favorite of the Lovecraft stories, actually.
A pulp magazine. I love Chandra Hogarth stories.
Tales from Beyond! Oh, that is fantastic.
A portable typewriter.
We don't have any way to play the music. Also, it would probably drive me insane.
Photographic film.
Transparent film cartridge. Interesting. Ward and Blake News Agency. Cults and Rituals, an interview with Inspector John Raymond LaGrasse, also a Lovecraft reference, by C.D. Ward. That is our reporter, apparently. Strange incident.
Me, what a collection of happy news.
Strange incidents in Massachusetts. The Gardner family vanishes from their Arkham farm. Robert Sweetum and his wife found dead at high seas. Yeah, not the cheeriest of news, that's definitely for sure. Refurbishments of Town Hall. Hamlet comes to Boston in June. I want to read those too. Hey, Cafe Claire, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well.
I believe Harry visited this exposition when he was looking for answers for my illness.
Newburyport's Tiara exhibition coming to Boston. That's an interesting looking tiara, I'll say. Nothing else to see in there, I suppose. So how many stories have we referenced so far? That's at least 3 or 4 at this point, I think. Nathan is Ben Tennyson? Holy shit, that's wild. Oh, Gardner is Color Out of Space. Thank you. I didn't recognize the name off the top of my head. Ooh, this looks like a photo developing station.
So, is this recording?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shouldn't we be listening to something, Frank?
I have assembled and disassembled it. Twice. So it should be fixed, Mr. Everhart. I don't know. Maybe it was never meant to play music.
DeWitt, where have you been this whole time?
Oh my god. He's got a knife.
Get off me, you lunatic!
Hold him! Hold him, for Christ's sake! Call Aroa, quick!
And that's when the doc went nuts. Interesting. All right. What do we got next? Anything on the central table? Yes.
The expedition only has 5 members now.
All right, nothing else to see here, it doesn't look like. Let's head back into the cave. Call the doctor! For the doctor! That's a bit of a problem out here, I imagine. Alright. Cave appears to be powered now, that's good. I think there was one more junction box in here, maybe? Possibly. Let's see. Tide level measurements, Harry Everhart.
I hope you didn't borrow this slide projector from the University of Denver, old pal. I think this is the right one.
Alright, so this is the one that corresponds to how the tide is outside. And we made a note of it. Good deal, good deal. I don't know what to do with that, but that seems to be important. Alright, we already read the notes in here. We just need to use the devices in here at this point. Alright, I hear furious scribbling. Ah, good. We do have notes written down for each of the keys that we need to press here. Alright, that's interesting. What to make of all this is the next question. There is a lot going on here, my goodness. I think ultimately we need to put in this code right here, right? The 262, 349, 415. And let's see, do we have we do have a 262. We do have a 349. And we do have a 415 as well. All right. All right. Whew, man. All right. This is going to be a complicated one, I feel like. A teacher of mine in high school refused to stop using a projector even though it was ancient and there were easier ways of doing things. She swore by that thing. I don't think many of my teachers in school used projectors, but they all used those overhead things. The transparency things that you could write on. But not an actual slide projector, I think. Yeah, the in-game notebook is so nice. I appreciate it. There's still a few things I've had to write myself, but in general, this is super helpful. That's why I was pressing all the buttons there. I could hear that scribbling noise that means they were taking notes for me. So I appreciate that. Game has an impressive balance of fair and tough puzzles. I'd say so. I agree. Joda, good afternoon. How are you doing today? Yeah, the clear pieces, the clear sheets they put on were acetate, I believe. Those were the days. All right, so I'm missing a big chunk of the log. I'm not sure what that is. The ship has several colossal gashes along its side, unusual in shape. It should have sunk in the ocean outright. How did it end up ashore? I thought I heard Harry's voice, but it turned out to be a call for help that he left broadcasting from the ship. Wonder if anyone responded. The ship is completely abandoned. What happened to its crew? Members of the expedition used whatever they could find inside the beach ship to build another campsite on this black lava beach. Harry discovered that the black gunk might have different applications. The ooze reacts to different sound frequencies, and some can even make it float in the air. Did the inhabitants of the island know that too? Harry found another unknown structure built by a previous civilization. He keeps searching for answers even as they wait for help to arrive. The tidal organ emits musical tones when the water pushes air through its tubes. Alright. Harry managed to activate the organ, which revealed something at the top of the mountain. Another temple, maybe? And he intended to build some sort of machine up there.
It's well tuned. I expected no less from you, old pal.
Alright. Well, now I think we need to head back up to the top of the mountain and see if we can figure out what to do with the organ up there. I believe it is time. Let's see, Joda, you did enjoy this game, only one puzzle was not to your liking. I'm curious if it's something we've seen already. But the first puzzle I think could have been signposted a little bit better. But oh yeah, it wasn't this way. This way was a dead end. Don't need to go there. Thanks, old pal, old bean, old thing, ancient thing. Oh god, possibly. All right, we're all done over there for right now. So now we head over this way, and we'll see if there's any more switches we need to get more power turned on. I think there might be, possibly. I mean, this camp had power, but it was wired directly to the generator, I think. Yeah, see, like, there's some lamps down here that don't have power. But I didn't see any other junction boxes I can work. Is the problem. Wasn't one there. Let's head up the steps for right now. We'll see if we spot anything. Most of the junction boxes had those little blinking red lights, so they should be pretty obvious. Ooh, I don't know if that... No, that light was on before. That's not new there. Gotcha, Joda. That can definitely be one of the biggest frustrations in adventure games. When you just can't find the thing you need to find to progress. As one of my favorite tabletop RPG writers put it, finding evidence is never the interesting thing, interpreting it is. And I think that applies for puzzle games as well. In this case, I think we may have found most, if not all, of the hints. We just need to figure out what to do now. Alright, so, these are the symbols from here, right? So, let's see. I think the big question is, what does this mean up here? I assume this is a translation guide. But what is it translating from to? You are correct, Rooksoner. Yes. Ken Hite from the original Gumshoe Core book. One of my favorite tabletop RPG books of all time. That's the big question now, is this... I need to figure out what this thing means right here. And if I can figure that out, I should be able to figure out where we're going right now. Yeah, Gumshoe System is one of my favorites as far as mystery solving stuff. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Trail of Cthulhu is the very first Gumshoe System book. I think they eventually put out a Gumshoe Core, but Trail of Cthulhu is where it all started. Oh man, although I did just get a new tabletop RPG book the other day that I'm really over the moon about. It's called Brindlewood Bay. The pitch for the game is Murder, She Wrote meets Cthulhu. And it's a cozy mystery about little old ladies solving murders in a quiet seaside town that may be tainted by elder influences. It has a really cool rule set, really interesting way of constructing mysteries, which I think is pretty cool. Drink more Ovaltine? Get boy Tad? Get that boy. Let's see. All right, so get that boy. All right, so first of all, the first number we need is 262. And 262 is a diamond with another diamond on the inside. That's 262. And supposedly that, on the translation chart, becomes a diamond with two opposing triangles in it. All right. Got that. And then the next number is 349. 349. We got that. 349 maps to 4 diamonds within 1 diamond. We can go ahead and do that. Just drawing this out on my little pad for my own purposes. And 4 diamonds inside 1 diamond maps to 1 diamond inside of a diamond. All right, so we got that. And then the last frequency is 415. 415 is the left and right opposing triangles inside of the diamond. Draw that real quick. And that maps to 2 side-by-side diamonds inside of a diamond. All right. All right. So I think I've got to guess what we need to do here, so I'm going to attempt to implement this. All right, so this one. Let's see, what did that thing say? See, there was a note out here that mentioned those being opened and closed, right? Yeah, so up is open and down is closed. All right. So this one we want to be open. All right. That's fine. This one we want to be closed. That doesn't have anything to do with this. This one we want to be closed. We don't care about that one. This one, we want this one to be open. Cool. Was there anything further down, was there? Oh, there's the tide chart. Well, we already got that. Gonna make some Ovaltine because you have some still? I can't remember the last time I had Ovaltine. I must have been single-digit age since then. Oh, awesome, Rooks! If you end up picking it up, I hope you'll love it. It seems really neat. Now, where's the next one? Next one is right here, maybe? Yes. This one we want open. All right. This one we want closed. Should be one down the stairs too. And this one we want closed. I'm hoping that did it. It's hard to tell if we got them all. We also need to do this right here. And let's see. According to the log, it is currently November 7th. And our notes say that November 7th is a new moon. So let's seal that pit completely. Ah, this is a chart showing what's open and what's closed. So this says that The ones I think I want open are the only ones open. Press the button and see what happens.
Holy Mike! What kind of magic is this?
Got it in one. Well, that was intense. Comes in big metal cans. I remember the big metal cans. I think I mentioned before, but I grew up like 4 blocks away from an Ovaltine factory. And when the wind was blowing just right, everything smelled like chocolate. Emperor just reading the summary of Brindlewood Bay as well. If you want to know more about it, feel free to DM me and I'll tell you what makes it really cool, but it's really cool. This game makes Doom, Wolfenstein, and Quake's Child's Play. I mean, there wasn't this level of puzzles in those usually. Watching someone play Steam Next Fest demos, there's one called Normal Fishing. It's a very normal game about normal fishing. I enjoy normal things, sometimes. I'll have to check that out, thank you relentlessly. Magic Space Rocks. The magic of imagination. By the power of Magic Mike's abs! Yes, the Great Brindlewood Bay Make-Off! Oh my god. They actually just put out the physical edition too. It's from a company called Studio 2 Publishing. Theoretically, in a few weeks to a month, it should be on Amazon, but right now, if you want to get a physical copy of the book, you can look up Studio 2 Publishing. I know this because I just got my physical copy a couple days ago from them. Fishing Vacation, which is also a normal game about normal fishing. Just a game about going on vacation and doing a fish. Nothing weird in that game. Just some fishing. Fishing with your pals. Oh, this seems incredibly dangerous. What are we going to find out here? What is this? Oh man, Shota, that's wild. I know there's a factory closer to Chicago called Toronto that makes French bread, and driving within 2 blocks of that factory, oh, it's so delicious. Fresh baked bread. I love that smell, it's so good. Rin, thank you so much for digging up that link. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Nora is voiced by Sissy Jones from Firewatch and Walking Dead Season 1. Oh man, I still need to finish Firewatch one of these days. I was considering streaming it, but I think it's probably best if I play it myself. Just because there's so much dialogue in there, I wouldn't be able to get it worded edgewise. But I did really like what I saw from that game. And if you too liked Firewatch and you think I would like a sequel to Firewatch, you can blame Valve for never getting a follow-up to Firewatch. It's Valve's fault. And I'm still mad about that. And I will continue to be mad about that. Whoa! What is that? Is there a glowing thing in the water? Really concerning. Hey, Tonda! Welcome in, Tonda. How are you doing today? How's your weekend going? What have you been playing as well? And thank you, Tonda and Rin, for investing in a Harvester sequel. So I think we want to have audio puzzles in Harvester. I do think so. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to design all of the audio puzzles myself. Do I know how to play an instrument? No, I do not. Do I have good pitch? I don't think so. No. Is that going to stop me from making an audio puzzle? No, it's not. Is that going to stop me from making a good audio puzzle? Yes, it is. EP has also redeemed invested in a Harvester sequel. So yeah, basically that's what I'll be doing, is I'll make these audio puzzles, just based on what sounds like the right note. I'll play a note and then I'll be like, does that note sound like a C or a D? I don't know, but I can guess. And then maybe you can guess what I was thinking, and then maybe we're both right, or maybe we're both wrong. Who knows? That'll be the magic of the puzzle. It'll be like we're collaborating. It's a beautiful thing, I think. People are going to get really excited and not at all mad at me. Let's see. Tana, you've been hooked on City of Heroes and Silent Hill 2. Oh, if I remember correctly, it was your first playthrough of Silent Hill 2. How are you enjoying that one? Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite horror games of all time. I think it's brilliant. I hope you're having a good time with that one. Oh, is it international shipping, Emperor? That might do it. I would probably wait a few weeks then and see if it shows up on Amazon. That'd probably make the shipping a little bit easier because they'll probably have some international options then. Hopefully that'll help. Hopefully it'll help. I'll be over your shoulder judging your notes. You can judge me, but you can't make me do the right thing. Oh, I'm glad you're liking it, Tanda. That's awesome. All right, so we've just activated a complicated musical mechanism. Now we're seeing what exactly we just got. Another note.
My dear old pal, I think I'm getting closer to understanding what is happening to you, but it is taking a toll on my sanity. As fascinating as this island and its ancient and unfathomable wonders may seem, it's also a place plagued with misfortune and calamities. We lost Roy at the campsite, and we almost lost our engineer on this beach. The doctor went mad and stabbed him with a strange knife. And all because of this island, Nora. Initially, we were optimistic and in high spirits, but now we've all become resentful and discouraged. Even I can feel how I am constantly assaulted by dark thoughts. Anyway, if what I am going through here helps me find you a cure, it'll have been worth it. I hope to find an answer in the temple on that mountain peak. Love you always, Harry.
Aw, he's a sweetheart.
Oh, Harry. He's worried, exhausted, disheartened. I will find you, my love.
Me caught up on chat, sorry. 465 shipping for $126 worth of goods. Yeah, I don't feel like that's really worthwhile. Oh, 66 worth of, good God, that is way too much money. Guy from Red Bank, you just bought Plastic Man by Kyle Baker. Nice, there's some really good modern Plastic Man stories. Hey, Japan Sending, welcome in. How are you doing today? One of my favorite quotes from that game. Embrace the chaos, 20th century music says so. Excellent. Excellent. Kissa, you spent like 3 times the cost of an item for an Amazon order from Germany to the US once. Yeah, shipping across the ocean, the cost is insane right now. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to get any better. Really sucks. Oh, we got a lot of buttons on here. What do they do?
Wow. Let's see what the next one does.
Tark, have a good rest. We'll see you around.
That's where Harry must have gone.
All right, we got our path. That was super spooky. And thank you for the shout out to Other Rin right there. If anybody in here is not following Other Rin, you definitely need to. She's an amazing streamer. She plays a lot of really cool indie games. You might not have heard of, but you're probably going to fall in love with. And also, she's just really fun to hang out with. So make sure you click that link, give her a follow, check her out next time she's live. You'll probably see me there. I'm there anytime I have the opportunity to be. What is that liquid flowing there? Is that the black stuff? What the heck are we doing here? Oh, I heard about that one, Velcos. It's the one where they play like one note every few years. Something like that. I did read about that one, definitely.
I'm not sure why, but I don't feel this island is dangerous. Maybe it's because I haven't spent as much time here as Harry did.
This is really ominous, holy shit. Alright, so... where do we go from here? I have to go inside here somewhere? Is there going to be another path that opened here? Oh, jeez. That seems concerning. Oh, this is the door we couldn't get through before. This is what opened. Gotcha, gotcha. Church organ is trapped for centuries playing this song. Oh my god. Are you playing Pony Island next, Rin? Oh my god, I need to be there for that. That is gonna be a whole thing. Alright. Whew. End of chapter right there. Let's see what we got here. Found the Mako reactor.
Whew, that was quite a hike.
Chapter 4. Quite a show. Quite a show. Can we go back? A little bit. I won't let us go down there, though. Alright. I already see some big structures. That's interesting. Oh, jeez. Alright, so I'm going to save the game here. And it is a little early, but I think this is probably where we're going to want to stop for the day because we are about halfway done with the game at this point. So if we can keep up this pace, I think we should be able to beat the game tomorrow. And I hope we do, because so far I'm having a really good time with this game. I love the art. The art style, the graphics is absolutely beautiful. And the puzzles are pretty fun too. That puzzle with the organ, that was really neat. I actually like that puzzle a lot. That was really clever, multi-part, and it felt like it was, it had a whole bunch of clues that all fed together to one solution in a very logical way, and I think that's my favorite kind of puzzle right there, is where they kind of, as you go, teach you how to do the puzzle, bit by bit, which is really neat. Yeah, Tana, this is neat so far. This is very cool. That time again, that skin condition again, that black-green ink time again, that ooze of time again. It seems to be. So thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. It is a pleasure hanging out with you all, as always. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to pick this game up right where we left off. We're going to see if we can finish it tomorrow. So if you're interested, I hope we will see you again tomorrow. But of course, we do have one last thing to do before we wrap up for the day. So if you can spare a minute, I would really appreciate it because we have to see who all else is online. So if you're not done watching Twitch for the day, hopefully I can send you somewhere cool. I would like the opportunity to try. So make sure to hit follow first and foremost. That'll be the easiest way to find me tomorrow or at any point in the future. If you'd like to come back, we'd love to have you. And while I'm looking to see who all is live right now, there's some links in chat you might want to check out if you haven't seen them already, including a link to my YouTube if you want to check out any of the games I've played in the past, or if you just want to get caught up on whatever our current playthrough is. We'd love to have you there. And there's a link to my Discord as well, if you would like to chat with me or the rest of the community outside of the stream. We'd love to have you, so feel free to jump in there. And you know, I'm actually curious about this stream over here, so I think this is where we're headed to. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would really appreciate if you would join us as we go raid fellow retro streamer, Fractal Mind Mike. He specializes in big box PC games, And today he is focusing on cinematic platformers. I think those are sort of platformers in the same genre of the original Prince of Persia, but I'm not sure. I'd like to find out what he's up to. So why don't you join me over there, say hi to Mike, hang out for a bit, throw him a follow if you like what he's doing. But hey, if you've got other things to do, I will just say as I always do, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. I will see you folks tomorrow for more Call of the Sea. Take care of yourselves till then, everybody.